Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this Emax Tinyhawk FPV Racing drone. This is a bind and fly version, and it also comes in a RTF ready to fly version. So it comes nicely packaged in this carbon fiber looking case. And if I open it, this is the Tinyhawk. So this is a 75mm Inductrix type style form factor, made with polypropylene, which is a flexible plastic. Does feel as though it can be durable, and has this unique inverted motor design for these brushless motors to keep the center of gravity low, so it can fit into tiny places. And this comes with these 08025 15,000 kV brushless motors, which are plug-in motors. Always good to have plug-in motors, makes it easier and quicker to change. And this is an FR Sky D8 receiver on this. Has an F4 flight controller board, a Matic F411 firmware version, and has 4-in-1 3-amp ESCs. You can see the micro USB port here to plug into Betaflight. You can see a button here, which I'm hoping is the bind button. And it comes with this 600 TVL CMOS camera and a 25 milliwatt VTX with 37 channels. It also has smart audio function, so you can change channels using the sticks on the radio controller. Built-in Betaflight OSD. Can fly up to 56 kilometers per hour. Pretty fast for something this small. And an MPU 6000 gyro, prevents vibrations. And comes with a high voltage 4.35 volts ATC up to 160C 450 mAh battery with this little 2-pin connection. And this actually seems to hold quite nicely in here, which is good, but we don't really have too much latitude here with the length of this cable. Let's try and do it this way around. Plug it in, but then the advantage is it does keep this out of the way, so we don't have a loose cable flopping around. And here we can see a blue light and a flashing red light. Just disconnect it. These props, 3-blade props, quite rigid, but as you can see, quite well protected and have a nice pitch on it too. So we also get some Emax stickers. Get a little tiny star Phillips screwdriver. A spare battery connection, which is good. Some spare screws, and also a couple of spare rubber mounts. And this is the battery charger. Looks as though you can charge 4 batteries at the same time. Plug into a USB and charge the batteries up this way if you haven't got a hobby charger to charge them up with. This is the instruction manual. Comes in English and Mandarin on this paper. Okay, precautions, product specifications, VTX settings, and channels and frequencies, changing VTX settings via Betaflight OSD, the all-in-one flight controller and tiny receiver, and some information on the settings, and to download the latest CLI dump file from Emax, which is a little bit unusual, but we'll have a look and see. And over here also has the binding procedure, which we will do shortly. So let me just set up my radio controller and let's bind it up and look at the Betaflight configuration. So I've got my radio controller already set up on mode D8 to bind. And in this instruction manual, it does give a diagram of the flight controller board. So this button here is actually for the VTX to change bands and frequencies. And the bind button is situated here. It does say DSMX here, but I'm not aware that a DSMX version is currently available, but there might be one coming out for DSMX too. So if we have a look here, okay, right over here you can sort of see a little thing and looks white and silver, and the bind button is here. So if I just take a flat top small screwdriver, can access it and press it down so that it clicks. Okay, I've got to hold it in while I power it up. So let me just get this battery connection ready to power up. Okay, that's in position. Let's find the bind button again. Over here. Okay, that's depressed. Power it up. You can see a green light come on, so now it's in bind mode. I'm going to press bind on the radio controller. Okay, should be binding. Stop the process. And now I have to power off the radio controller. And let's power it back on. Okay, just power this off and power it back on. And got a flashing red light, so this should be a bound. Let me just check. Yes, that is a bound. Now let's just plug it into Betaflight and see what the settings are. Okay, got it connected up to Betaflight now, and the first thing you should do, always good to do, go to the CLI, type in dump, enter, and then copy all the text here and paste it into a text file as a backup. So if you have a problem, you can restore it at a later stage. And here we can see it's Betaflight, Matic F411, MK41, 3.5.1, September the 8th, 2018. And you can also, if you go to setup, just wait for it to reconnect. It's good to do a backup by clicking on this. So now let's have a look. We have a look at the ports. USB VCP enabled and UART1 serial RX enabled here. And on UART2 we've got TBS Smart AUK. Look at configuration. Quad X, okay, motor stop is off by default, which is good. I like it like that. Okay, craft name already in, Tinyhawk. A good receiver. Serial based spec set, which is fine, and S-Bus. Okay, don't need servo tilt or any of this done. Power and battery. Okay, minimum cell voltage 3.2, maximum 4.5, warning 3.3. So I'll leave it at 3.3 and let's see what happens. These are the default pits, which should be fine. And leave them as it is. Look at receiver. Okay, TAER 1234. RSSI channel auxiliary 5, shouldn't be auxiliary 5. It's an 8 channel. I'll put it onto auxiliary 8. Okay, throttle your pitch and roll, all fine. But if we have a look here on auxiliary 5, yeah, no, I think I'm going to leave this on auxiliary 5 because it seems to be picking up RSSI on auxiliary 5. Yeah, we look at modes. Okay, so this is set up already. I've set up my switches, so arm, disarm. This is speed, so angle. Sorry, angle there, and horizon. But I don't see acro mode enabled on this. Okay, I've set up beeper on auxiliary 3 here. And flip over after crash on here. So let's just add in acro here. We can find it. We've got acro trainer, but I don't want to put it in on acro trainer. So it doesn't look as though we've got the option for acro here, so I'll just leave it on angle and horizon. Good OSD. So here we got the craft name, RSI signal strength, battery voltage. It'll be the time for the flight, which is fine. Do I want crosshairs? Yes, I want crosshairs, so I'm going to enable crosshairs and put that in the sensor there and save. Okay, video format looks as though it's NTSC, so I'll leave it at NTSC, and I prefer metric units. And yeah, we've had a look at the CLI already. So these are the settings in Betaflight. I'm just going to save and reboot. And then again, because I've made changes to the settings, I'm going to back up the CLI again. You can see I've already backed up the defaults in there. And now, also what I like doing is I'll go back up to setup here. I'll also do a backup here. Click backup. And I'm going to back this up in the Emax Tinyhawk folder that I have already for it. And these are my settings now also backed up. So now let's take it out and see how it performs. Okay, let's see how this Emax Tinyhawk goes. So I'm just going to fly at line of sight. Start the motors. And take off. Okay, so we're in angle mode here. Okay, it really wants to go. Okay, didn't expect that, so let's take off again. Okay, a bit more stable now. Okay, maneuvering well. The punch out. Okay, now well, does a nice punch out, very quick for something as small as this. Wow, okay. This goes well. Motors have quite a whine and pitch to them. Okay, nice little flight. Flies well outdoors. There's a wind of about 4 miles per hour. Didn't affect it. And now let's see how it flies indoors. Okay, just going to see how the Tinyhawk goes and Paul's the pilot.
5.
So this is a 2-minute race.
3, 2, 1, 0.
I saw a couple of videos from iSeries and X-Ray when you posted their live viewing.
Yeah, the Battle of the Tinyhawks.
That's the kid, yeah, this one together. That's a good start.
Oops, accident. There we go. Yeah, up and going again.
I was flying that shot.
Wow! The new quad shot, Steve,
There we go.
47.5.
There we go. Oh, really going well.
They did like a world.
Oh, the World Championship.
Well, they called it wow.
Went through the tunnel. Back again. There we go. Up, round.
You'll win. They never had any rain in the
Very good.
but they had 2 days of freezing down.
Very nice.
Destroyed the track.
That's 2. There we go.
What can you do? Yeah, they said like 5 years.
Call 139.6.
Going very well.
Yeah? Oops. Nice. People were like, you never rain, so you're witnessing a once in a lifetime.
There we are. Tunnel. Back. Handling very nicely.
It's like flood, a little bit of rain, and the whole thing is flooded.
Still up in 1 for 1.9.
There, I wouldn't even have thought it rained here in the UK.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The race
And the winner. Okay.
Okay. 4-1 again. I'll run
Really going nicely.
These things are good.
up next. Race number 1. Who?
A good flying time.
Race order is I long Mike A. God this one.
I keep thinking she says food. It's the same Paul.
So although really suited for indoors, to get into tiny places, this is really awesome outdoors and very powerful and durable. The battery lasts quite well, get at least a good 4 minutes on the battery. It's very low or no latency for FPV, obviously depending on your goggles or receiver equipment too. A really good performing value brushless micro FPV racer. So please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.